All right, today we're talking about Penthesilia. So, this character has been in the game for a fairly long time. She came out during Agartha, Epic of Remnant, so before the Lost Belt Saga, and I am 90% sure this is her first buff. Yep, first buff. So, let's get started, and I'm sure she's also really happy that her sister is in FGO now. So, Amazon is CEO, base attack 10.5k, very, very strong for a 4-star. Even at level 90, if you give her 2 grails, her attack actually is on par at bare minimum with the midpoint for 5 stars. This is pretty common in most berserkers, but in terms of just like damage scaling, she definitely got the strong end of the stick. 100%. Like, we're talking at level 100. She's up there with the high, like Avenger level attack when they're at level 90. Example, Dante's. I think, like the OG, I think his base attack is this high. I forget which one of the Ibukis, but one of them is around this level of attack. HP, lower than the attack. Is a berserker. She shouldn't be staying alive that long if she's getting crit. But from what I remember, she does have stuff in her kit that makes it so she's probably not dying immediately. Star weight, star gen, normal numbers for berserker. MB charge extremely healthy at 1.07. Unfortunately, the hit counts here are not great. We don't care about hit counts for Buster cards, but she does have triple Buster. Every Gorilla Servant would prefer triple Buster. It means they can do a Buster Brave Chain without their MP. With the MP, it just does more damage. And because Koi in the Sky is a thing, critting on all 3 of these together should not be that hard. So she gets multiple CEs to get a bonus from. Offer it, Lawful Good, Lawful Female, Costume Owning, and I will just check in a quick little bit how many more she gets, if she gets any more. And last one. Yes. 3 CEs. So yeah, it is fairly easy to actually get her leveled. If you have your Buster engine comp like fully ramped up, we're talking about having like close to 200% bond bonus. So with like all your other characters being bond 15 plus the CEs, it's actually possible, and you would be just clearing through her bond stuff, especially if you had teapots. If you have teapots and you have all that, she's probably going to get done like bond 0 to bond 10, probably with just a monthly refresh from the shop, like the 30 teapots and all the storm pods. By the end of the month, she should be bond 10, no problems. Actually, honestly, a month is even too generous. Yeah, it's literally just depends on how easy is it for you to get through everything. But yeah, upstairs looks good, and Amazon is CEO with the glasses. All right, first skill is what got buffed. Before, it was a weak charisma at not even 20%. On the 5-turn cooldown, that was it. Buff, fixed to 20. They gave her ignore defense for 3 turns and a 30% battery. So when I see this, I immediately thought, wait, did they give her the same exact skill as Iskandar? No. Even though he's a Greek male, and you're going to see in a second, he gets fucked up by Penth. Like, really, like she's going to one-shot him easily. His charisma grants it to the party, but it still has the battery and everything else. So it's literally this one word that makes the difference between the two. But I mean, Penth is single target. I wouldn't be expecting she would be giving people ignore defense anyway. She definitely would make more out of it. Could they have given that to the party? Yes, but versus a Skandar, like, no. Like, a Skandar, it makes sense because he's AoE. She's single target. Why is she giving out more than just a charisma for party-wide stuff? Alright, second skill. It's not a survival skill per se. Like, it's not gonna heal her or give her guts, but it is gonna make it so it's harder for her to die than it already is. So full debuff immunity for 3 turns and 20% gauge per turn. You're using her with double coin Skya. If you have a pen 5, you can pop this again in the second turn, and then she's getting 40 gauge per turn as a buster unit. That is so dumb. That is extremely upping her MP spammability, even though she only has the 1 battery. This skill honestly is part of the reason why she probably didn't have a battery up until now, because by double stacking, like, you do have at the very least 2 turns of getting 40% per turn. That way, even if a lot of your buffs went away, like it's a 4-turn break bar fight, at the very least, you probably have at least 1 more turn of her own buffs to try to finish the fight. I am now doing monthly $5 giveaways as a way to give back to my channel. I recently hit 500 subs and I want to keep giving back to the people that support me. All you have to do is comment on one of my videos during the month. Doesn't even have to be a video I make that month, and you are entered to win. 5 people can win every month with 1 win per person per month. Only 1 comment is counted as an entry every month. I will send you the prize in a way that works for both of us. Thank you for watching. Now let's get back to the video. Third skill. This is why I'm saying she really fucks up a Skandar. Like, royally. 20% buster for the party. Would be better if it was more selfish. 100% power mod against Greek males. We all know the reason for this one. This guy over here. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want her punching me through the monitor. I like my lungs where they belong, and they're not coming out some other hole in my body. And I'm hoping she makes a new hole, and she's not gonna just get creative and find a way to get it out of my body from a different hole. But yeah, every single one of these males here, except Nemo in when he's Noah. So the more Nemo Noah is, that's when Penth actually does the damage. If it's like Noah, like biblical Noah, But yeah, like, she's a berserker. There's literally no downsides to this. Like, she's always gonna be effective against these characters, unless they have like some immutable trait that makes them basically a foreigner, or they just don't take extra class advantage damage. But yeah, again, oh, that's a Skandar. Again, you're doing Koyanskaya, you're double stacking this, and Koyanskaya also has her own power mods. So if any of these guys are man attribute, I think at least 2 of them are. 1, 2. It doesn't look good if it's just the man attribute ones, though. It really doesn't look good if it's just the man attribute ones. Earth. He's probably Earth too. Yeah, the more demigod ones are probably less likely to be man. Or, yeah, the stronger the divinity, the less likely. Oh, the Skandar. Royally screwed. That is 300% power mod against this guy when he's, like, fully ramped up. Like, that is so much. It's like, you put Black Rel on Penth, and Oberon is going to cap out. Because that at bare minimum is going to be 560%. Sorry, 460% power mod. Or in that part of the formula. 460%. So, yeah, we're going to move on. Like, there's she can hit really, really hard. Right. Moving on to the passives. So 12% Buster. So even though this is a 20% Buster buff, for her, it essentially is still 30% what we're used to from more modern servants. I cannot see them buffing this skill. I can see them buffing her MP like before them even touching this skill. Like, because this is like them buffing Shisho's third skill again after they already made it 3 turns for both of her power mods at 100%. Imagine if they actually buffed it again and they gave her another stupid power mod, or they gave her a card buff that lasts for 3 turns on top of that. I'm not going to say no to that. But even like I'm at the point, okay, no, you can't make Shisho that busted. She deserves it, but you can't do that. She already does too much damage. Last one, doing these for just a little bit more damage. So with 50% battery, with a 30 battery, use this. You're at 50, and you would also want this. And I'm saying like because she's a permanent, you can technically get more copies at any time. Do I? Okay. Yes. No, I actually still have this up, and pretty soon, I'm happy that I can delete these 3, and these are standard. But for a 4-star permanent, in order to have 2 appends, you need to hit bond 12 on MP1, bond 11 on MP2. Same for MP3. At MP4, you can just get to bond 10 and be done. And as we go down the list, we keep going. Bond 9, bond 8, bond 7, bond 6. And then by, like, if you manage to get, like, 9 copies, you definitely are able to get another pen for free. But again, like, at this point, I'm saying, like, bond 10 is, like, pretty standard for most servants to be able to get to. Because of grand training, you can probably do it in like 1 month or 2, especially if you're using all your storm pods on it. So yeah, ideally you would want to Invive, and then go for Append 1, probably anti that guy, and then crit damage. This one first. All right, MP, 8 hints, single target buster, no other effect, and I would say this is very weak, but attack down like is honestly like really, really useful in this game. It does save you a couple hits, and if you're able to just keep doing this, they're just gonna do less and less damage. But Penth in particular is probably not going to be hitting like even here consistently. It's just not likely. She's not going to be getting that much charge. Now she has a better chance because of this. If she gets hit, she's a berserker. MP charge for defense is 5% for every hit. But the issue is she's a berserker. How is she staying alive that long? Especially if you have Koinskaya, because she's already shaving off 20% of her HP. But yeah, no, buff this skill. Do something. It would be really, really funny if they gave her guts that let her come back at half HP. Because then it would just nonstop. You put her down. You hit her to try to put her down. She basically gets her full MP, dies, comes back, enemy turn stops if there's no other enemies on the field, MPs, and she just keeps doing that over and over. I think it would be really, really funny that she just keeps coming back and won't let that guy stay alive. She's going to keep doing it until he's dead. Last one, Bon CE, 20% buster for the party. This is one of the highest we ever see of this amount. Like, you do not see party card buffs, but it comes with a demerit. Whole field takes 10% defense down. Yeah, you do not want to be dealing with defense down yourself, especially not with a berserker, unless you're doing esports. Then we have a completely different conversation, because this is not a demerit if you're doing esports, especially if you're using like Bunyan and anyone else. With Liz at the end, it's not as needed as much. Like, it's way easier to just cycle in buffers. But yeah, no, this is actually useful for esports. Like, if you don't even want to use her as a DPS, literally just an esports unit, I mean, like, this is 20 attack and 40 buster. And you just have one of the other servants be dying. Like, she stays alive. Like, you put a taunt on, like, Bunyan, and Bunyan just goes down really quickly. And you probably get at least 2 turns of this. Alright. That's Penth. Yeah, I'm probably just going to be chilling before I work out. And then I'll be coming back for Nikkei and Honkai Weekly Reset. I will see you guys later. Peace. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.